Here is another Menopause Monday. This is number 3, and today I'm talking about mood swings and the menopause. What do you mean you put it over there, you idiot? Do you know what I remember? I'm not going to say her name, but I remember being berated by somebody, a woman in my family, who went literally nuts because I buttered the wrong side of the toast. I mean, come on, but this is where it leads us to. Yes, why do we become Cruella de Vil in our menopausal years? There are many reasons. One of the problems, and you know what, this is a figure that I read earlier today, is 70% of women in the workforce are menopausal. And this isn't about workforce, but this is just to give you an idea of the lack of connectedness that we have and the lack of representation that is out there. And also the fact that we still think it's a bit of a taboo. But 70% of those women are afraid or don't feel that they can broach the subject of menopause with their significant other, which is really quite disconcerting because, you know, when we get to this beautiful stage of life, and I'm deciding I am going to thrive through the menopause. I'm not surviving, I am thriving, and I'm changing my whole mindset around it because yes, there are symptoms, and I think I'm probably not struggling as many as some people do. I'm not going down the HRT route, but that's because I'm managing with lifestyle changes. And I think if HRT suits you and it's working for you, then you stick with it. I've not gone down that route purely because I try and do everything naturally myself. That's just the way I tend to be. And so far, so good. But I do make a conscious effort daily to arrange my lifestyle into such a way that I can support myself through the menopause. So by the fact that 70% of us aren't even broaching the subject with our significant other, how many of those are actually thinking that they can broach that subject with their boss? Probably not many at all. And it's that one of the aspects of why I think that we struggle with mood swings so much through the menopause, aside of the hormones, and I'm going to go into that, is the fact that we are in such a transitional time of our lives. You know, we are changing. It's not just our physical changes. We might be coming to the stage of our lives, I am for sure, when my children are going to be leaving home soon, and I'm going to really miss them. Thank goodness I have a job that keeps me busy and I can work from home and I can be with my pets, because I don't know what I'd be without my pets. But that's happening, and it's not a time of life that I'm really relishing, to be honest. I love my children. I love being a mum. Being a mum was my main thing in life, and I know I'm always going to be their mother, but it's changing. You know, my role is changing, and that's a really significant factor. And you find also, I mean, I don't want to put the kibosh on anyone, but divorce rates go through the roof when children leave home because, and I know so many people in this situation, that you stay together for the sake of the children, and then they leave home, and then you think, right, I'm off. There's more to life than this. And I've got nothing, bloody hell, I'm divorced. But I left when the kids were really young. You know, I've got nothing against people leaving at all, but why do you leave it so late? The kids know that you're not happy. So just if the relationship's not good and the time has come, just bloody do it. Get out there and live life. I think also sometimes we think, this has gone through my mind several times, is cripes, I'm 49. Have I lived my best years? Have I got the same amount of years still left to live? And even if I have, do I want to live that long still? And when I'm old and crotchety, am I going to be healthy or not? You know, that we have all these things that are in the back of our heads. We might not be aware of it, but all these things tie into our sense of, I think, isolation and fear of the future, actually. And when we're going through that, as well as our hormonal changes, it can make life really bloody tough. You know, a lot of us are probably caring for elderly parents. Dementia is on the increase. Cancer's on the increase. Heart disease is on the increase. Strokes are on the increase. You know, you might not just be caring for yourself and for your family, you might be having, I mean, you know, your children, you might be having family members, your parents, who you're caring for too, who, you know, it takes up energy and it takes up time, and it's harrowing to see your parents when they are struggling like that. Thank you for the hearts, by the way. And thank you for that kind comment, Jean. Are you French? Um, so anyway, estrogen is one of the main reasons why we get ratty. Sorry, boys, I've got some men on here. I hope you don't mind me chatting all about the menopause. This could be helpful for you to understand your women. Now, when I was going through before the menopause, before I had my period every month, I would just think, "Oh, I'm going to kill someone." I used to get so stressy the sort of 10 days running up to it. Actually, now through the menopause, or I'm postmenopausal, that was a bit of a shock too. I thought I was menopausal. Apparently I'm not. I'm postmenopausal, which makes me feel even older. But do you know what? The menopause day only lasts for one single day because it's the year since you last had a period. That's it. Your menopause is one day, and the rest of it is either pre, peri, when your hormones are all over the shop, and post. So I'm post. It's all done. But I don't get any of that bad irritability now. I haven't killed anyone for ages. It's just like, well, I haven't wanted to kill anyone for ages. And I think a large part of that actually also is when I was perimenopausal, that's when I became a health and fitness coach. That's where I really started to become more aware of lifestyle changes. It's when I trained as a psychotherapist. And I incorporate all the things that I know from my healthy living and also my mental health coach business into making sure that I try and navigate it as smoothly as possible. And I think the most important thing that I can say to you is to be compassionate with yourself. And I would also ask you today, women who are going through the perimenopause or the postmenopausal, what have you done for yourself today already? Because if you've not done anything yet, why the heck not? Even if you work a really corporate busy life, go and sit somewhere quiet, even if it's on the toilet, and just deep breathe for a while. You might want to put something over your nose, actually, if you're deep breathing in the toilet, but you get my drift. Find a space where you can just connect with yourself. We have such a lack of connectedness with ourselves when we are feeling all discombobulated. We don't know whether today we're going to feel up or tomorrow we're going to feel down, or yesterday I rocked it and I did really well, and then tomorrow I'm going to wake up and I'm going to feel like a weeping idiot. And it's such an erratic time of life. On top of that, we're probably sleeping badly because we're waking up with hot flushes. The way I deal with that is I sleep in a really cool room, and as soon as I feel one coming on, I just strip off the bedclothes. And I've also got a water spray, little hydro thingy-majiggy, very fine water sprayer. And I also have a cloth with some lavender water on it, which I just sometimes put over my face, and it smells gorgeous and it cools me off really fast, and put it around the back of my neck, and that works really, really well too. But I think if you can go with the symptoms rather than try and fight them, you've kind of won the battle, because we're going to have these symptoms whatever. Yes, there are lifestyle things that we can do to make those symptoms less, or how we deal with those symptoms. That's reasonably healthy eating, trying to prioritize your sleep, although I do know that is a challenge for many of us, me included. Move your body, get working out, because when our estrogen levels drop, that affects the serotonin in our bodies, and serotonin is one of our feel-good hormones. Well, when you're working out, you give yourself an endorphin boost, which allows better regeneration or generation of that serotonin. It gobbles up stress hormones, so you're gobbling up cortisol. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you, it's so kind. Sorry, I've got to go to work. Have an amazing day. Don't kill anyone. Try my hardest. Have a good day at work, you. And that's so funny. And yeah, working out helps to kill. You gobble up cortisol. You gobble up your stress hormones. So if you've got fewer stress hormones going around in your body, you're going to respond better. You're not going to be such a touch paper for when you're feeling irritable. So um, other things that I suggest to people is to write a gratitude journal. If we can be positive in our thoughts rather than just ambivalent or neutral. So rather than thinking, well, I didn't let that get to me, it's really good, yep, that's a good one. But rather than thinking, well, I didn't let it get to me, think of something joyous. Think of something that is just going to fill you with happiness or satisfaction, whatever that might be. This morning I stood out on my village green and I watched the swallows flying around for a bit. Last night I was in my garden, I was watching the bats. You know, I love nature. And so for me, that's just a few moments away from the hustle and bustle of life. Today, I've eaten healthy, I've done my workout, and I took the dogs for a walk. And I've got a really busy day ahead of me. In a minute, I've got to scoot out. I've got a couple of hospice patients that I need to go and visit over the other side of the county. And then I've got to come back and do some more business related stuff. So I know for me today, it's frazzled. But I've looked after my mental health because I've done the things that I need to do in order to make sure that I'm not going to get to the end of the day and be, I'm going to kill someone. And sometimes it's about giving yourself giving yourself some grace, just giving yourself some time away. If one of those business related things doesn't get done today, I mean, I'm my own boss, so I'm not going to get fired. I'm not going to fire myself. So if it moves on to tomorrow's list, then it moves on to tomorrow's list. Although tomorrow's list is quite busy too. But if you're not prioritizing, if you're not creating a lifestyle that's going to support you, then this is going to be more of a battle. And I think it's a load of BS that we have to be stressful every single day in our lives. I think if I know change is hard, but I think if you're living the kind of lifestyle surrounded by the type of people that don't support you, then you've kind of got to change it. Now, whether that's a relationship that's no longer happy, whether it's a peer group that's toxic, whether it's a best friend who's like the bitch from hell, but you just feel a loyalty, a misplaced sense of loyalty to be her friend. Don't just get rid of these people. I know that sounds really disposable and it sounds quite a robust, thank you for those hearts, a robust way of dealing with things. But if it's not supporting you and you are suffering mentally from it, cut the cord. Just do your mental health and your children, if you've got kids, and your significant other, if that significant other is a positive in your life, they deserve the best of you and you deserve the best of you. So sometimes it is about making those changes. I've had to make a few, and yes, they weren't the easiest changes to make. Change is never easy, but bloody hell am I pleased I made those changes. And yes, my life is way better for having done that. And you might have a few hurdles to cross in order for the sort of the happier horizons to come close, but they will. And it's a heck of a lot better than living in a life where you're just stuck and you're miserable and you bloody hate it. A job is easy enough to change. There are so many different options out there for you. And I know, yeah, when we're midlife, to get hired in another position is really hard when you're our age. I mean, at least we haven't got the risk that, oh, she's going to go off and get pregnant. We haven't got that anymore. So yeah, that's a win. See that as a win. But it is harder. There is age discrimination out there, without a shadow of a doubt. That's why I work for myself. And I did have to retrain, and it has taken time. Yes, I have spent some money retraining myself, but that is all, I'm earning it all back now. So it was a worthwhile investment, and it's fulfilled me too. So it's about finding things that are going to fulfill you. It's about being it's thriving and not surviving, and creating a lifestyle that will support you. And the career thing, I understand that. The relationship side of things, if it's somebody who's just not supporting you and you're feeling like you're falling through the cracks, there is somebody out there for you, without a shadow of a doubt. This is men and women I'm talking to now. there is always somebody out there who is going to love you for the person that you are. So never stay stuck with an individual who doesn't support you. I mean, I'm not suggesting have disposable relationships. You've got to give it a try. But if you've tried, if you've had those conversations and that love is no longer there, go and love someone else and find love. Find something that's fulfilling, because that, I promise you, is going to make you feel so much happier. And so these vary, just scooting back to menopause, these various changes that we're experiencing in our bodies. I mean, come on about, vaginal dryness, menopausal acne, hair loss. I mean, those are not really sexy, uplifting subjects, but they are happening to us. A lot of people suffer from all of the symptoms. And it's just something you've got to go with the flow. There are things that you can do to combat some of these issues. It's not about the fact that they're not going to happen. They probably will do. However, accept the fact they're happening and find a solution to deal with it best. Every woman, if they're lucky enough, and this is another thing, if they are lucky enough to get to our age, I have lost 2 beautiful girls in my family who died way, way, way too young, and they will never hit the menopause. So for us here, struggling with it right now, we are bloody lucky, because there are a lot of kids out there that don't get that. So I think it's about changing the way we look at it. It's about creating a lifestyle that supports. Look, my nose has all gone red now. It's about creating a lifestyle that supports us. It's about accepting that change is going to happen and working a way to just make those small adjustments. There are things that you can do. Meditation, time outside. These are the things I bang on all about every single time. Meditate, time outside. Create micro moments in the day for you, wherever that happens to be. Just sit, take a few deep breaths, close your eyes and really focus, zone in on your body. What's happening in your body? What are your feet feeling like? What do your ears feel like? What's going on in your body? And just become really self-aware and appreciate the fact that you're this amazing conglomeration of cells and tissues and electrical synapses and things. And you're not just this body struggling through menopause. You're so many more things than that. And I think it's really easy to get so focused in on these things that are ruling the way we see it, ruling our lives and dictating how we live our life. Hot flushes are a pain in the arse, but they're just hot flushes. You strip off quickly, just wear clothes with lots of layers. All I do now is wear lots of layers so I can get them off fast when I need to. Just do the things that are going to support you. And when your life, when you are taking positive action to create a life that aligns with how you want it to be, those moments of irritability are going to become less often, and they're going to become less frantic. And it's not about being perfect. I mean, I found my fabric conditioner in the fridge this morning. I don't even remember putting it in there, but the fabric conditioner was in the same drawer as the milk and the sparkling water. It's just like, I don't know what happened. Brain fog. But again, it's one of those things. It's just like, it's a bit stupid, but I actually think it's quite funny. I think it's being compassionate with ourselves, giving some moments of grace, creating a healthy lifestyle that's going to support us, and not resisting this moment of change. It will pass. Things do calm down afterwards. I think you can rediscover yourself. I mean, as an older woman now, I'm quite happy with how I'm rediscovering myself. It's a journey I'm embracing and loving sharing with you guys. I really am. I think it's a wonderful opportunity to be able to do this, and I hope that some of my suggestions have helped. Again, comment, message me if you want me to cover something specific with regards to menopause for next Monday. Obviously I've got my Wellness Wednesdays again. I can't remember. I think I'm talking about the importance of water this Wednesday. I'll have to have a look in my diary. I can't remember. Brain fog. That's another tip. Keep a diary. Just write everything down. I have to do that now because I cannot rely on my brain to remember things. I used to be the biggest organizer. Honestly, I used to run a massive department of people. did all the travel, holidays, events, blah de blah. I knew everything until menopause came, and now it's just like my brain is a sieve. I mean, it's just pathetic. But so I write everything down, then I can't forget it. And if I do forget it, well, I forgot. So what? I'll try and remember next time. It's giving yourself some grace. That's it. It's be kind to yourself. Maybe even write yourself a letter. I know this will grate on some people. I think load of codswallop. But write yourself a kind letter. Celebrate who you are. You're a special individual. Look at what you've achieved through your life so far. So be kind to yourself. Love who you are. This is a process. It will pass. If you can embrace it, and I know that's kind of counterintuitive, but it takes away a lot of the negativity. It's going to happen anyway. So we might as well, you have a choice. You can either embrace it and go with the flow and have a bit of a laugh about the various things that are going to happen, or you can try and resist it and create a whole lot of negativity around it. And I promise you that is going to make those mood ups and downs even worse. So anyway, I hope that helps. Oh, just by the way, something funny. Do you know what? In the early 1900s, they used to put deadly nightshade on women's stomachs to help with menopause symptoms. So we should think ourselves quite lucky. And in the 1800s, they used to give women opium. Maybe we want to go back to the 1800s. I'm not being a proponent of drug abuse. I'm not. No, somebody in my family has all sorts of drug problems. So I'm not condoning that at all. But, just look at how history has dealt with these things. We are in quite a fortunate set of circumstances now. The fact that we have so many lifestyle choices available to us. We are women that we're not stuck at home. We have so much freedom. Our bodies don't have to be hidden anymore. We're incredibly lucky. Yes, there is still some stigma and there's some discrimination still, but on the whole, we've got it quite easy. So I think let's embrace that. Look at the positives, and it helps deal with the crappier moments when they happen. So anyway, blessings to you all. I'm going to scoot off now and go and see my patients. So thank you for joining me. I really appreciate that. And drop me a message if you want me to cover something specific in next Monday's menopause. See you soon.